Howdy there, folks. I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs, and I am going to do a quick demo of OnLive for Android, which just came out a couple hours ago in the Android marketplace, and an iPad app is slated for release. Whether or not Apple will approve it remains to be seen, but hopefully we'll see that in the next couple days. Now, for those of you that don't know, OnLive is a streaming gaming service. So much like Netflix, much like Hulu, OnLive, you pay and you buy the game. They do have rental packages, but it's the same price, even a couple bucks cheaper than usual, but you pay $40, $50 for a game. And rather than getting an actual physical disc or a download, it streams over the internet. And it's actually pretty impressive. No, it's not perfect. No, it's not in crystal clear HD, but it's relatively nice, and it's a great way for casual gamers to get their foot in the door. Now, prior to now, there's only been a couple ways to do this and play OnLive. The first one would be through their official micro console, which is $99, and the other way is to do it through your Mac or PC. But that was it. There were no other options. There was no other way to do it. But OnLive has just released their Android app into the marketplace, which is pretty amazing. The fact that I can play a PC game or a console game on my mobile device is pretty impressive. But I just want to show you really quickly my wireless settings because they are rather important. Right here, I have the 5.3-inch Galaxy Note with a 1280 by 800 screen, a 1.4 gigahertz dual-core processor, and 1 gigabyte of RAM. So this is a relatively well-packed smartphone, and you may notice lesser performance on A, a slower network, and B, a slower device. But this network right here, it's not connected, so I should probably connect to it. And I'm getting 36 megabits per second down, which is relatively fast. I mean, the speed is varying, but it's a pretty fast home connection. Now, I've tried this on HSPA Plus. There is no LTE in my city yet. However, I can say that it's certainly not ready for prime time. To play OnLive, to use it, to even make it usable, you do need to be on Wi-Fi. So I am going to demo the application, and while it loads up here, I want to show you this controller. This is the micro console controller, and it is Bluetooth. And so one should imagine that it would work with my Android device. However, OnLive says, and they're kind of vague, but I do not think that this controller is supported. They said they're releasing a new controller, which will be available next week for $50, and that will be necessary to play a lot of the titles on OnLive because they don't map the buttons on screen, which is kind of annoying. And additionally, this controller is not apparently compatible with a lot of the games. So even though this works on my OnLive micro console, I do need a new controller for the Android device, which is slightly annoying. Now I'm going to try and play this without any glare possible, but I know that's going to be tough. I'm going to try and turn my lights away as well. There we go. That's not bad. Okay, so this is, if you've ever used OnLive, the OnLive interface. There's no changes. It's not even optimized for mobile. There's no keyboard input. It's pretty much exactly the same, an exact port. Now you can see it's lagging a little bit, not badly, but a little. Now I have a very large game library on OnLive. I've played it quite a bit, and most of the games I have, in fact, I don't know if all of them because I haven't tried all of them, but 90% of the ones I've tested do not work on mobile. So if I say play now, at least they don't work with this controller. It says you need a controller to play that game. Do you wish to continue? And you can continue, but it's not going to work because you don't have the controller. The game plays and sits on the menu. So that's kind of like, well, you should probably release the controller before you release the app, but that's what they did. One game that does work though, that it's free right now. So if you have an Android device, go ahead and download this for free if it's in the marketplace. And I'm not going to buy it yet because I'm not sure I really even want it in my library. It's Lego Batman. And like I stated, it is free. The OnLive application is free as well. The service is not free, but this game is free. So Lego Batman, currently $0.00 right now, but I'm just going to play the trial. And as you can see, this is different from the other games because it maps the buttons on the screen. So I'm going to try and skip through this if I can. I know it has a rather extraneous intro. But if I can skip through this, you can see all the buttons are mapped here. So there's a look analog stick here, a move analog stick here. You have your OnLive buttons down here on the bottom, the record, the OnLive menu, which you can bring up and view your other games and your social settings. It runs all right. I mean, it's a little slow and luggish, but it's not horrible, especially considering you're running such a powerful application on your phone. Additionally, it does have a keyboard input, which is nice. Not the good keyboard, but it does have one. basic functions like the menu button and the back button refuse to work here. You will actually need to use the done button on the screen. Kind of annoying. There is record and play so that you can do your standard stream clips, your brag clips on OnLive. And then you have your other buttons here to actually play the game. They're not organized very well. They're kind of in an ugly fashion, but one should assume that when the controller makes it to market, and I so hope I don't have to buy a new controller, but once the new controller makes it to market, it will indeed play. Now, you can see that there is a tiny bit of pixelization and artifacting, but it's not bad. In fact, it's actually pretty good. And I'm not playing quite yet, so I'm going to jump through this and show you actual gameplay because it's better than you think. It's not perfect. You know, you can tell it's being streamed, and if you don't have a pretty fast internet, it's horrible. It's horrific. But with my internet speed, if I can skip through this, it's pretty darn nice. I actually played the beginning of this game at my friend's house, and I recall it's not the fastest, so I apologize for that. You can hide the buttons like that, and then the info key. I believe that's an info key. Yes, it shows you what the buttons actually do. You can hide that once you know the buttons so that they're not always showing strands of text, which is nice. Skip this, and I'm ready to go. I believe the level starts here. Now, I'm horrible at this game. I've never played it. Well, I don't know if I'm horrible, but I've never played it, so I can't imagine I'm good. But as you can see, it's a little bit laggy, but it's not bad. So I'm going to try and play here. I've never played this game, and I'm not even good at video games, but I enjoy them. Are those my guys? Those are my guys. Killing Robin, man. What am I doing? So as you can see, it's certainly playable. Granted, I am on a very fast connection, though, so that's something worth noting. But it's not bad. And it's a really, really, really well done thing. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of glitching. I can change the look and the feel, and there's not a whole lot of problems here. Granted, this is a very, very easy, well, not easy, but it is not a graphically complex game. This is no Gears of War. And so I should imagine that with more advanced games, it's going to take a lot more CPU and a lot more internet speed. And when I do get the new controller, which I'll buy the day it comes out, I will show you how those new games work on OnLive. But if you're on Android, pick this up. It's available for all smartphones and all tablets. You can get Lego Batman free, and it should be available on the iPad in the next coming days. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. That was OnLive for mobile. Ready for prime time? Maybe not yet, but it's a pretty impressive step towards mobile gaming in some pretty advanced circumstances. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one, and stay snazzy.